Welcome to the AlphaCars Motorcycles Service Center. Today we're doing a rust preventative treatment on this brand new Ford Bronco. This is the Black Diamond Edition, and it is a manual transmission, making this trim very desirable and very cool. So the owner wanted to protect the longevity of the vehicle when it comes to rust, and of course, by doing the rust preventative treatment, that is going to increase the resale value of the vehicle. It'll really help it hold its value, as underneath it's going to be in very nice condition, especially here in New England with the harsh chemicals and road salt that they use. After even one winter, this vehicle would look really not pretty underneath. So what we're going to be doing is using a Waxoyl product. The vehicle did come in after being driven for around a month, so there was some dirt and sand we needed to wash off the underside, as you're looking at right now. And now what we're doing is the vehicle preparation. So we're masking off the work area so we can protect the outside of the vehicle from any product overspray, as well as our shop. We can see this goes right to the ground. It's really like a full office we're making under this Bronco. So pretty much we got the vehicle in for the evaluation. We found the underbody condition to be dirty, so that needed to be cleaned, as I just spoke about. And now the customers move forward with doing the Waxoyl application. Right now, as I'm moving past our technician, he's in the process of still masking things off. We're gonna mask off, calipers, rotors, some of the little items like engine bay components, the engine and transmission. We are going to be doing a light coat of the Waxoyl product on the drive shafts. We are going to clean those up a little bit. You can see this vehicle has been on the road for 1 month, and look at the rust already starting on these raw drive shafts. So this is in the early stages. We can kind of rub it off with our finger. We are going to use a product on here to clean those up, and then we'll do the light application of the Waxoyl. The Waxoyl is great because if you do just the right amount on the drive shafts, it does harden up nice, and it's not going to sling around. It offers great protection. If it was fluid film or something like that, we definitely would not recommend that on the drive shafts because that will make a mess. As you can see, we're also masking off the exhaust. So it's really a tailored approach to not just go crazy spraying the vehicle and really making a mess of things. And now we are ready to start the application. We can see the calipers and the rotors are all masked independently. You can see we sneak the plastic all the way in there so then we can fully coat the rotor backing plates, as those are definitely a common area of concern to stop the rust. And the full exhaust system is masked off, as well as you can see our transfer case there, transmission, engine, and there's some other sort of harnesses and things that are up beside the engine that we've covered as well. Now the technician has completed the underbody application about an hour ago, so it is starting to harden up, but we can see it still looks wet in some areas. But let's take a look at how the application went. We've removed all of that plastic so we can see the back of the brake rotor backing plates. All of those are coated, but the brake rotors and the calipers are perfectly clean, exactly what we want to see. Same thing when you look up into the engine compartment, the exhaust, the heat shields, transmission, we have the front differential up there. Everything that you want coating on has the coating, and everything that you don't want the coating on does not have the coating. So now looking back, such a thorough application is done. We can see the drive shafts are looking awesome now. We have that main drive shaft there. And we did see when we were up here, the CV shafts up here. We do coat everything, even like the clamps there, because even those can rust over time. Even though they might be stainless steel, they will start to rust over time in certain conditions. And we do spin the wheels or the axles rather to get an even coat. So even if I show you up at this angle, we've got nothing to hide here. We coated all the way around the axle there. So even the points like the tie rods now, these have a much better chance of holding up to the conditions. Commonly, you'll see the tie rods or the alignment points in your vehicle will seize over time, and then you're spending thousands of dollars to have the full tie rod replaced because this adjustment point is seized. Well, now with this hard wax in there, it's not gonna allow the moisture and the salt to get in there and seize the adjustment point. So that is awesome. Now as you work our way to the back of the vehicle, once again, we've got all of the backing plates coated, but the calipers are nice and clean. A lot of these lines, like the brake lines, are all coated as well. We like to coat all of these, even the little ends of the rubber hose, because once again, that's all areas that over time will rust, will make it a pain to work on the braking system. Of course, the brake lines are a big issue where you drive a car in the Northeast for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and these start to corrode and become a safety issue. And you may have even heard stories of the brake lines rupturing when they do get thin enough from the rust. Now that all that will be prevented. Even we look up here, up into above the frame, sort of the vehicle unibody structure up there, everything is coated. Even inside of anywhere there's an opening, we have the tools that go in there. Even inside of all these frame rails now, everything is coated. Same thing, this huge skid plate actually supports the gas tank. So in there is all coated as well. We snake the tool up under there and just make sure there's a good coat. And we see the vehicle unibody here, all of these holes that get sprayed into and fogged. So the pinch weld is fully coated now. Also, these are the skid plates that are missing off the vehicle. Of course, we removed them, so we gave these a coating as well on both sides. So once again, a lot of these skid plates over time will start to rust from the inside out because the salt and the dirt and the moisture gets on top of them where you can't see, and it just sits there for years. So now with this coating here, it will prevent that because of course we took them off as well so we could access all of this area. Then we're able to get up inside the bumpers, all of these steel bumper structures here, all this is coated as well. You know, struts, springs, springs are definitely an item of concern when a vehicle gets rusty because the springs, of course, can break when they get thin enough. So now we won't be worrying about that. Really, there's so many benefits. You could talk for hours about the benefits in doing a coating like this. But the technician is at lunch right now, and what he's gonna do when he gets back and resumes working, we're gonna lower the Bronco, and he's gonna get started using the Waxoyl Cavity Wax, which is pretty much the same product as the hard wax here, which is black. It's pretty much the same product, but it doesn't have that black pigment, so it's clear. And that we're gonna use some special tooling and inject it in all of the door skins, even the hood skin, and even the tailgate, the cargo door. We'll swing that open. And all of these areas, they have access holes for moisture to weep out of, and we can get our tooling up in there and be able to fog, you know, pretty much the full inside door skin. So once again, that will prevent the rust from starting at the bottoms of the doors. You'll commonly see vehicles with rust starting down here. And normally it's because it starts from the inside out. The inside of the door will have the salty water from maybe, you know, the winter time. It'll settle down in there and just sit there and start to rust its way out. So getting the product to sit in there first, it'll then prevent that from happening. So just so many benefits to having this done. And as you can tell, even I'm excited for this customer. This Bronco is a really cool trim with that manual transmission and the 4-door. So as we get back to work on this, you'll see the next segment doing the enclosed areas. And now the technician is inserting the special tool into the enclosed area of the door skin. There was a little plug that he removed right here. And you can see now it's seeping out of the bottom of the door, which is normal. That's what we want to see. So we know there's a thick and thorough application. And then pretty much as the vehicle is here and it drips out of the holes, we will monitor that and just wipe it up as it drips. But we're gonna do the same thing on all 4 doors. We can see on this door, there's a little bit that's dripped, which is a good sign. So we know on both kind of the right and the left side of the door, there's good coverage. And Now we're gonna continue around the vehicle. And now we're in this door skin on the passenger side. You can hear how the tool is aerating the product. So then it's a nice fog. And we can see now how it's dripping out of the bottom. So we've got a nice coverage. And we can see how the technician, as he applies the product, he pulls the tool out. So then it's distributing the product all the way up the door skin as he sprays it. And we can see there the excess is starting to come out of the bottom. Now we move into the engine bay. And this is an awesome value with the enclosed areas because we are applying it, as you could just see, we're gonna apply it all inside the fender skins. This kind of front frame section here, it'll get applied in all of these enclosed areas, as well as the hood. We can see plenty of access holes to get the inside skin of the hood. So all of the little nooks and crannies in here that after a little bit of time in the salt, you'll start to see rust forming in some of these tubular frame structures here, especially like kind of in these corners back here of the engine compartment. It'll have a nice film on there of the cavity wax, really preventing that. Also, we can take a second to admire the 4-cylinder turbo in this Bronco, 2.3 liter, I believe around 275 horsepower. You can see there's no engine cover or anything to pretty it up. Ford just decided let's just make it out in the open and make it very functional. And I guess we can respect that. Now the technician is preparing to continue the application there. And something I wanted to note, check out how they painted the hood latch of the hood. This, you can tell, was already bolted on the hood. You can see the paint, there's no paint under this. They kind of just had this maxed off and just painted it already bolted to the hood, so that's interesting. And as the technician fogs these areas, of course there will be a little bit of overspray here and there, but just like on this side, we will wipe everything down and do the overspray kind of touch up. We don't just leave it there. There's really no good way to get all these areas without getting a little bit of overspray here and there. So now we can see the technician is just wiping things up. But check this out, this product will harden, become less wet, more of just kind of like a tacky wax. So it really won't be annoying to work around in the engine bay. But now all of these areas in here that, like I said, down the line you might find the rust starting, now it'll all be protected. And yes, every section of this hood gets the product applied. We've started in this corner and we've worked all the way around now to this side, ensuring the full thorough application. Even these center sections, really skipping no area. And now the technician's refilling the tool, and we can see there how thick the product is. So once it gets sucked up through the tool, mixes with the shop air, and gets fired out and aerated, that's how then it gets applied in all of these small and hard to reach areas. So pretty cool piece of kit here. Some blue anodizing there. If you're someone who likes tools, interesting tools, then you're someone like me. That's why I'm showing you this. And then we have our long snake tool on the end there. And as you might have seen, the end of that tool sprays it in a 360-degree pattern, fogging it all around to get all of those areas. So now we've got the cargo door open, and we're applying the product inside the cargo door skin here. We also removed, there was a plug here we removed, so we'll be able to fog all up in here, which will then kind of work its way over here. And now we have removed these plugs, and the technician is just starting over here. And we can see how he pushes the tool all the way in a couple different angles, and then as he pulls it out, he lets the product out at a certain rate, then fogging really every area of inside of this rear cargo door. So now this product will be able to kind of penetrate and sit in all of these internal seams on the edges. And once again, when you see the tailgate rust start on vehicles, a lot of times it's from the inside out, because the salty water and such will sit inside the bottom of the door and start to rust these areas. So now with this product here, we are able to prevent that. We use the very soft plastic trim tools to get the plugs out. They don't come out by hand, so these tools are non-marring. They don't affect the paint or clear coat or anything. These tools are really priceless at what they do. And now once again, we've got the product applied now up this seam. Now that the enclosed areas are done, the technician's doing some final checks, and a lot of times we'll find spots that might be a tad thin, so we touch up those spots. And there's something I wanted to explain about the product application for this rocker panel reinforcement here, or maybe you could call it a rock slider. So we do coat the inside of it and the pinch weld. I'll move to this side to show you. The technician was doing some checks on that side. So if we see in there, the pinch weld and the inside of this is coated, as well as the underside of the vehicle unibody. This will get wiped as well. This is some coating we're doing in the door hinge area. That's just about to be wiped, as I said. But we don't coat the outside of this metal rock slider. And why, you may ask? Well, if you're getting in and out of the vehicle, your shoes and your pants are gonna brush against this, and if the wax oil gets on your pants and shoes, it's gonna make a mess, it's gonna ruin your clothes. So we apply it, like I said, in here, fully on the inside of it, as we can see there, if I get the light just right. And this is also what you're washing. When you're maintaining your car and you're washing the outside of the vehicle, this is a part of the exterior surface that you're gonna be washing. Maybe you'll even put a ceramic coating on this, powder coated steel as well. So that's also why we don't do it, because if you go wash this, it's gonna get all over your wash mitt and then get all over the car. It just really doesn't make too much sense. So I just wanted to explain that. And as the technician does his final checks, you may see, additional drips out of some of those weep holes. That is normal. That can happen really even a few days after the vehicle. As it gets driven, the vibrations happen. The excess seeps down. And we tell that to the customer, that there may be some of the drips out of the doors, but that's a good thing, because you've got plenty of product in there and just some of the excess is seeping out, and that product won't hurt the paint or anything. We just tell the customer to just wipe it with a microfiber when it does drip. So that's really all I have for you with this new Bronco. As we do our final checks, it really was an awesome job. As we already saw the underside, now we've got the skid plates back on, which are all coated and ready to go. We even coated the shackles, or the kind of loops up here, whatever those may be called, the technical name. So those are protected as well, as these are of course gonna get blasted with salt and rock chips and stuff. And you can even see behind the bumper structure, just any little area where we can get the product, we do. If you are interested in having this service done, give us a call, 978-263-9000, or send us an email to service@alphacars.com. We can get your vehicle in here for the evaluation, and then go from there with providing you with the quote to have these services done, as we tailor to the customer's reasonable budget and their level of protection that they want. There's really no one job for all vehicles. We make really the custom plan for each vehicle and each vehicle owner of the protection they're looking for and the reasonable budget that they're trying to stick to. So this has been Ian reporting from our Boxborough Service Center. Thanks for watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe so then you don't miss out on the latest motoring content.